Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Senior Talking Walks. I am Bill. We're continued in our guitar series. Today, another one by popular demand. I read your comments and y'all wanted to hear What a Wonderful World. What a wonderful world it is, and yes, that's true, by the great Louis Armstrong from 1967. So, we're going to do it. It only has a few chords. I'm going to teach you these chords. It's very basic, but what a pretty song to play. Everybody loves this song. Don't go away, and we're coming right back to you with What a Wonderful World. All right, everybody, let's get into What a Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong, the late, great Louis Armstrong. This was released in 1967, mega hit. Movies like Good Morning Vietnam, it's on the soundtrack of so many different songs. It's just a great song. When people hear it, they just loved it. They just love it. You know, Louis Armstrong has such a distinct voice. I can't think of anybody else better to do this other than him. It has some chords, okay? I'm not gonna say it just has 2 or 3 chords. It does have a few chords in here. Most of them we've already taught on this channel. I'm continuing to do my guitar chords series that we've already done. G, C, and D, the most popular chords on a guitar. Number 1 is G, then C, then D, but then there's A and there's F and all of these others that we're continuing to learn. But we're going to learn them one at a time in this video as well, because I want you to get these chords down, want you to be able to learn this song. It's such a cool song. So let's get going. What a Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong. It starts in C. The first part of the verse is C, E minor, F, and E minor again. You can already hear it. Just listen to those chords and you can tell what the lyrics are going to be or how the song's going to go. How about that, huh? I see trees of green, F, red roses too, D minor, I see them bloom, E minor, E7th, for me and you. How about that? You know, this is a relatively short song. It has 3 verses, but just one little bridge area. It goes by really fast. I think on the record, it's under 2 minutes. It may be like 90 seconds or so. It's a very short song. So it's not going to take us long to learn this. First of all, the first chord that we're going to play is C. You've learned this before. C, C, C. It happens on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd fret. Your first finger is on the 2nd string on the 1st fret. Your 2nd finger is on the 4th string, 2nd fret, and your 3rd finger is on the 5th string, 3rd fret. Look at the charts, look at the finger chart, and look at the bar chord chart, okay? Make sure that your thumb is up underneath so your wrist is coming up, so you're pushing directly down on these strings. C, 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 C. C chord. Beautiful, beautiful chord that is in thousands and thousands and thousands of songs. I see trees. I see trees. I see trees of green. E minor, E minor, E minor. Remember that E minor? E minor. We talked about those minors. Here's E major. Minor. Uh-oh, drama, drama, drama. It's only 2 fingers, first 3 frets. 2nd finger goes on the 5th string, 2nd fret, and your 3rd finger just slides in directly underneath it to the 4th string on the 2nd fret. And your 1st string is not on it. If your 1st string was on the 3rd string, 1st fret, that's E. All 6 strings, E. But you lift up that finger. You don't put that finger down for E minor. E minor, E minor, E minor. C and E minor. I see trees of green, E minor. Red, F, roses too, back to E minor. F, 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 remember, a couple of different ways to learn F. We've talked about it. You're bar chording these first 2 strings on the 1st fret with your 1st finger. Both of those together, okay? Then you're taking your 2nd finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. And then you're bringing your 4th finger to the 3rd fret, 4th string, like that. You're barring them. Make sure you're sounding this out good. Play each note 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Put your thumb under there, put your arm up around here. Don't worry about the bar chord. The bar chord, you're gonna keep learning in some of my other videos where you can hit all 6 strings and you get all that bass. But let's just worry about F right now. This is the basic F. You're barring these first 2, 3rd string, 2nd fret, and then the 4th string, 3rd fret with your 3rd finger. Just like that, okay? So the first part of this is C, E minor, F, and back to E minor. I see C of E minor, F, 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 F to E minor. How pretty is that, huh? C, E minor, F, E minor. I see trees of green, E minor, F. Red roses too, E minor. Okay, now we're going to do D minor, then we'll go back to C, and then I'm going to show you this little E7th that is so easy to play once you know E and E minor, which you know, and then A minor again. And then we hit A minor for the first time. So it's I see trees, which is C, of green, E minor. Red is F, red roses too, E minor. C, I see trees of green, E minor, C, E minor. F, red roses too, E minor. D minor, D minor, we've learned D, you've all learned D, hopefully you know D by now. D minor is first 3 frets, first finger, first string, way up here. Second finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, and your 3rd finger on the 2nd string, 3rd fret, like that. Look at the chart. You can hit 5 through 1 on this. What a pretty chord. Here's D major, okay, D minor, D minor, D minor, D minor. That's the first note of the second sentence of the first verse. I see them bloom, I see them bloom. Goes back to C. I see them bloom for me and you. E7th and A minor. Okay, remember E. Remember E. Okay, E and E minor, which you've already done, okay? All you do to get this E7th is you're still going to lift up one finger, but you go back to playing E. Look at the bar chord. You're going to play, you're going to put your first finger on the 3rd string of the 1st fret and your second finger on the 5th string of the 2nd fret, just like you're playing E, okay? But normally with E, your 3rd finger would come right up underneath it on the 4th string. That's E. But all you're doing is lifting that 3rd finger. Look at that. That's a 7th. 7th, meaning we're going somewhere. Remember the D7th, A7th? We're going somewhere. Where we're going to go here, okay? So it's D minor, C, E7th, and then A minor. So it's I see them bloom, C, E7th, for me and you. A minor, A minor. Once we get these on these first 2 sentences, the whole song's like that. A minor. Remember me talking about A minor? Every time I mention A minor, I do this. There is a house in New Orleans they call A minor. A minor is such a pretty chord, one of the most popular chords on the guitar. 1st and 2nd fret, 1st finger on the 2nd string, 1st fret. Your 2nd finger on the 4th string, 2nd fret, and then right below it, you slide your 3rd finger in there on the 3rd string. A minor, A minor. Look at the chords, look at the charts. A minor, A minor. So that second sentence goes from D minor to C to that E7th to A minor. All right, we're going to do those first 2 sentences together. I see trees, C of green, E minor. Red, F, roses too, back to E minor. D minor. I see them, C, E7th, for me and you, A minor. Oh, that's so pretty. Isn't that pretty? First two sentences you have C, E minor, F, E minor. Then D minor, da, 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 C. Here's that E7th. Da, 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 A minor. And you know what these next words are? And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. That's this next part. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. 3 chords to do that. All right. And I think to myself. Now, you're going to learn, whether you like it or not, folks, you're learning a bar chord right now because you need this to do the A flat, okay? It's just the best way to do it. Now, remember me telling you before on the bar chord. You do it the same finger motion. You never change that, and you just go up and down the neck, okay? Let's do this bar chord as an F, okay, so we can stay within the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd fret. That's an F. Remember we did F a minute ago, like that, where you're bar chording these first 2, but now we're going to do the whole thing F, so you get all that bass in there, okay? You're bar chording with your 1st finger. Make sure that thumb's underneath there. You're hitting you're bar chording 6 strings with this 1st finger. Your 2nd finger is on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. Then your 3rd finger is up here on the 5th string, 3rd fret, and then right below it, your pinky is on the 4th string, 3rd fret. There it is, F, 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 that bar chord. And remember, that chord, all you got to know is the notes going up because you don't change your hand. This stays where it is. That's an F, you go up 2 frets, that's a G. You go up 2 frets, that's an A. The reason I say this is because 1 fret below that is your A flat. A flat, because you're going down 1 fret from A. But it's the same. You're not changing your fingers. You're just moving down like this. So practice that bar chord. Practice that. You can do it in F. Now that you know F, you can go ahead and do F when we do that 1st sentence. Red roses too. Normally it was just the standard F, but if you want to do the 6th string F, now that you know it, the bar chord, you can do that. So now we're going to do the first 3 sentences. We've done the first 2, and now we're going to go into, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see trees, sea of green, E minor. F, I'm going to do the bar chord. Red roses too, E minor, D minor. I see them bloom, C. For me, E7th, and you. And I think to myself, there it is, A flat, bar chord, A flat. And I think to myself, you just end it with the D minor and C. What a wonderful world. Then it just goes to G because you're going to start that verse again over again. I see skies, and then we go right into the 2nd verse. Same thing. C, E minor, F, E minor. And then it goes to the D minor, the C, the E7th, the A flat. It's the same thing. It just follows the same thing until it gets to the chorus, which we'll do after this, where it goes, the colors of the rainbow. And it's still the same basic chords. They're just a little bit different. So remember, verse 1 and verse 2 is exactly the same lineup. I see trees of green, C and E minor, F. Red roses too, E minor, D minor. I see them bloom to C, E7th. For me and you, A minor. And here's that A flat, and I think to myself, D minor, what a wonderful world, C. Back to G. 2nd verse. I see skies, C blue. F in clouds of white, E minor. D minor, just like it was before. The bright blessed day, C. Here's that E7th. The dark sacred night, A minor. And I think to myself, D minor. What a wonderful world, C. D minor and C. That's your little lead in into the chorus. So we'll do that. Let's do that second verse again. C, E minor, and F. I see skies of blue, E minor, clouds, F and E minor, of white, D minor, the bright blessed sea days, E7, the dark sacred night, A minor, and I think to myself, A flat, what a wonderful world, C, D minor, and C. Now it goes back to the chorus, and it starts with G. The colors of the rainbow, C, so pretty in the sky, same thing, G, are also on the faces, C, of people going by. All right, here's the second part of the chorus. I see friends, A minor, shaking hands, E minor, saying, A minor, how do you do? Back to E minor. F, do the bar chord. They're really saying E minor. And it goes, I love you. It's 3 chords, D minor, C, and G. I love you. Isn't that cool? And then it goes into the last verse from there. D minor, C, and G. I love you. So let's do that chorus again. Starts with G, goes from G to C. The colors of the rainbow, C, so pretty in the sky, G, are also on the faces, C, of people going by. A minor, E minor, and A minor. I see friends, A minor, shaking hands, E minor, saying how, A minor, do you do? Then F. They're really saying E minor. Here's that D, C, G. I love you. It's so pretty. Now we go into the last verse, verse 3. Same thing, C, E minor, F, and E minor. I hear babies crying, just like it starts out, F and E minor. I watch them grow, D minor, C. They'll learn much more, C. Here's that E7th. Then I'll never know, A minor. Here comes that A flat. And I think to myself, D minor, what a wonderful world, C. Now, since we're right at the end, this is where it goes to an A7th, because it's going to allow you to repeat that. Yes, I think to myself. So it goes, what a wonderful world. Then it goes to A7th, A7th, A7th. There's A7th right there. 2nd and 3rd fret. You're barring the first 3 strings with your first finger, and then you just put your 2nd finger on the 1st string, 3rd fret. A7th, you're barring the first 4 strings with your first finger. Very simple, like this, which doesn't sound like it's right until you put your first finger on the 1st string, 3rd fret, and then play them together. A7. It's a pretty neat chord too, because it starts off like when we're in this, and I think to myself, D minor, what a wonderful C world. A7th. See why it does that? Now we're going to go back to D minor again. Yes, I think to myself, G7th. What a wonderful world. Ends with C. So the only ones you don't know there is that G7th. And that is so easy. You remember G. The G7th, so easy. First finger on the 1st fret, 1st string. Your 2nd finger, come over here to the 5th string, 2nd fret. And then your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret, 6th string. Look at the bar chart. G7, because that's the only time it's used. It's used one time right there at the end. Goes that D minor. And at the very end, yes, I think to myself, D minor, G7th, what a wonderful, you know where it's going to go? To see world. There it is. The great What a Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong. You just did it. You just did it. I know it's got a few chords in there. You need to practice those chords. Watch this video back to back so you get them all. Okay? All right, so let's do the whole thing all the way through. I'm just going to kind of go through it fast, but I'm going to mention the chords as we go through. Okay? Starting with C. I see trees, E minor, of green, F and E minor. Red roses too, D minor. I see them bloom, C, E7th, and A minor for me and you. Here's that A flat. And I think to myself, D minor, what a wonderful C, and G. Going to verse 2. C, E minor, and F. I see skies of blue. Here's F. Clouds of white, E minor, D minor. The bright blessed day, C. Here's that E7th. The dark sacred night. Here's the A flat. And I think to myself, D minor, what a wonderful world, C. D minor, and C. It goes into the chorus. The colors of the rainbow, C. So pretty in the sky, G and C. Are also on the faces, C, of people going by, A minor. I see friends shaking hey minor, E minor, saying A minor, how do you do, E minor. F, they're really saying E minor. Here's where the D, C, G, I love you. C, I hear babies crying, E minor, F and E minor. I watch them grow, D minor. They'll learn much more, C, E7th, than I'll ever know, A minor. Here's that A flat. And I think to myself, D minor, what a wonderful world, C. Here's that A7. Yes, I think to myself, D minor, what a G7th, wonderful world, C. So there it is. Isn't that awesome? You did it. What a wonderful world. What a wonderful song it is by Louis Armstrong from 1967. What a great song. I'm so glad we were able to do it. I know it's got a few chords in there. You guys did it great. You nailed it. I appreciate that. Keep working, keep practicing. Remember to check out my other channel, which is Senior Sing and Play, where I cover a lot of these songs. Not all of them, but I try to cover as many of them as I can so you can hear what the whole thing sounds like once you learn it too. And I hope you've liked it. Make sure you give me a like. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Tell all your friends about what we're doing down here. And we really hope that you stay with us and keep practicing. I look forward to seeing you guys next time. In the meantime, keep walking, keep talking, stay active. Look forward to seeing you then.